Hey everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video we're going to be doing an acrylic design set. I feel like it's been a while since I've done some acrylic nails on my channel, but I wanted to do some animal print and I wanted an autumn colour palette to go with that. So this was what I come up with. I'm working on my Glamerliz practice hand and the first colour that I'm going to be using is this gorgeous CJP Rosa. This is such a pretty nude colour and it just has that hint of gold sparkle. So I'm going to be doing an extended nail bed with this colour. So I've placed down my bead, and then because my room is quite cold, it did take a little while for the acrylic to start setting. So I'm just sort of playing around with it, wait until it's at that right consistency so that I'm able to manipulate it into the shape that I want. And then I'm just using the sides of my brush to create the shape of my smile line. I have blended out the back of the bead into the clear base just so my next bead of acrylic doesn't have a huge ridge to come over. I'm just taking my time, getting this as neat as I can with my brush so then I'll have less filing to do. And then once I'm happy with that, I will come in with my next bead of acrylic and I'm going to place this down right at that cuticle area. I'm tilting the finger downwards and then I'm just pulling that acrylic over the previous bead, leaving the bulk of it in that back third to create the apex area. Next up, I'm going to be using CJP Sapphire. This is such a rich, deep blue and it has a gorgeous shimmer to it as well. And I'm going to be creating an ombre with this colour. So I'm placing this down at the tip end of the nail. So I place it in the centre of the nail and I'm just pulling it down towards the free edge. I'm keeping this quite thin and just painting it on because I was using two dark colours to do the ombre and I wasn't sure how well it was going to go. So I decided I would keep my layers thin so that if I need to come in with more of either of the colours, I'm going to be able to do that easily. But I'm just making sure to blend it out so that there's not too much of a harsh line there. And then I'm going to be ombre in hot ember over the top of that, and this is a gorgeous plum purpley colour. It looks a little different in the pot to what it comes out like on the nail. And I'm just placing that down at the cuticle area to begin with and fading it up. This first bead is simply to get a neat cuticle area. I'm not worrying about creating the fade with this one. Then I'm going to come in with my next bead of acrylic, blend it into the first, and then this is the one where I'm starting to work on creating that fade. So I'm bringing it down over the blue using nice light feathery strokes. I don't want to bring the whole of the bead down. I'm just wanting to bring the top part of that bead down to start creating the fade. I can leave the majority of it in the back third to help build up the apex. And then I'm just going to come in with small beads just until I'm happy with how that fade is. And as you can see, I also use this colour on the pointer finger as well. Unfortunately, I forgot to press play on my camera, but I simply did just a full nail of this hot ember there. Just taking my time to create the fade, sorry. And keeping my brush wet with monomer as well. So times like this where I want to clean up, I can just do so with my brush. And then I just come in with a little bit more of that sapphire just because I wanted to bring a little bit more of the shimmer back. And I'm just blending that back into the hot ember. So it was a bit of a tricky ombre to do because of the two colours, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. And then I'm going to come in and encapsulate the nail in crystal glass. I'm placing my bead down. I don't need to build up too much of the apex with the clear because I have already done it with the hot ember. So I'm mainly using the clear acrylic here just to protect that fade from filing and just to finish up building up the tip area of the nail. I hope that makes sense. And then we're going to move on to the the little finger, sorry, and the little finger is a full nail of that gorgeous sapphire. So I placed down a small bead at that cuticle area and I'm being really, really careful working around the cuticle with this colour because it's quite dark and it's highly pigmented. If you did get any on the skin, or in this case the silicone, it would stain. So I'm just taking my time to just be quite careful with it. And again, I'm just painting this on. I will encapsulate it. I find these darker shimmery colours colours a lot easier to just work thin with and paint on, and then build up my structure with clear. However, they are strength powders, so if you wanted to build up your structure with them, you could. But a little goes a really long way with this colour. You really don't need a lot of it. So I just use it in small beads until I'm happy with how the colour looks. And then I'm going to come back in with that crystal glass and encapsulate. Now, like I said, it was really cold in the room I was working in, so it's just getting used to using the acrylic. I haven't done acrylic nails in a while, and then I was mainly doing them through the summertime, so when it was quite hot, and then I was working in a room that was quite warm, but I don't like to have the heating on in the room that I do nails in, so it is a little bit chilly. So it was just getting used to the consistency of the acrylic, and it obviously set in that bit slower because it was quite cold. I wasn't happy with the apex. I just didn't feel as though I'd built it up enough. So I do just come in with another small bead here just to build up that apex area slightly more. I'm then going to jump back to the extended nail bed. I'm going to use the 100 grit side of my file and just make this a nice crisp shape. I have already done a lot of the shaping with my brush, so I've only got to neaten it up a little bit. And I'm doing that by making sure to hold my file flat up against that acrylic as I'm filing. And then once I'm happy with how it's shaped, I'm going to make sure I really clean away all of that dust. You want to make sure it's all removed from the nail before coming in with your acrylic. And I'm going to be coming in with both the hot ember and the sapphire on this one. I don't really know what you'd call it. I don't know, double tip French, I'm not sure. But I like the look of both the colours, and I've never done that on a nail before, so I thought I would give myself a little challenge and give it a go. French isn't something I'm very good at, so this was definitely a bit of a challenge for me, but I quite liked how it turned out. So I'm coming in with the hot ember first of all, and I'm placing it down right up against the Rosa, and I'm just using my brush to create the shape of the smile line again. So applying it pretty much as I did the Rosa, just using my brush to create as much of the shape as possible. It doesn't matter obviously if the colour goes over the Rosa, because when we file it we will reveal our nice crisp smile line that we've created. And I'm just really making sure to take that colour right down the wings of the nail so that there's no gaps there. And again, just making sure that you're building up a nice height with your colour so that you have got enough room to file it and push your next colour up against. Again, taking my time to get this as neat as I possibly could. I didn't want there to be any bits missing or any gaps. I was just trying to be as thorough as I could be. And like I said, I don't have much confidence when it comes to French. I feel as though it's something I always need to practice that a little bit more. And then I don't do one for ages, and I haven't done many acrylic nails for ages. So I felt like I threw myself in the deep end a little bit here. But I think that's good. It's good to push yourself now and then out of your comfort zones and try something new. And I definitely will be doing a few more of these double tip, I don't know what they're called, double tipped French don't even sound right, but I will definitely be doing a few more of these tips with more than one colour. So once I had allowed that hot ember to set, I'm just coming in again and filing exactly the same as before, just to help create that shape. And then again, making sure to scrub away all of that dust before coming in with the sapphire. Now, if I would do anything differently on this nail, what I would have done is made a little bit more of the hot ember. So I would have brought it down a little bit further, just because it didn't balance out very well. There was a lot more of the sapphire compared to the hot ember. But I don't know, it still gave off a nice effect, I thought. So then here I've just got to apply that sapphire to the very tip of the nail. Again, it doesn't matter if it overlaps the hot ember, because we will file away all of that excess anyway. So I'm making sure, same as before as well, taking that right down to the wings of the nail and then bringing it out towards the tip. So this now did end up a little bit more bulky than it probably needed to be, but it was nothing that I couldn't fix up with my hand file. So I'll just let you guys continue watching this bit and I shall pop back in a mo. Then left that acrylic to fully set before coming in and filing, and I thought I would leave in the filing to reveal the smile line for you guys. It is a little tricky filing on my Glamerliz hand because I don't have the tips that the Glamerliz recommend. They're ones that slide a lot further into the cuticle area, but I have some different tips, and because I have so many of them, I was just trying to use them up. But it does make filing a little tricky because they're not as long, so they don't go as far in, so they don't hold the nail in place as good for filing, if that makes sense. But I'm just doing my best to show you guys, and I'm simply using my file and going over where all that excess acrylic is first of all. So I'm just filing off all of that excess acrylic to reveal the smile lines before I'll then come in and contour and shape the nail. And then I did finish up the filing off camera. I did all of the rest of the nails and give them a shape. Didn't have too much shaping to do actually in this set, which was quite nice. So I'm then going to come in with my Goddess foil gel. This is from Nirvana nail suppliers, and it's my go-to foil gel. And I wanted to add in some animal print, and I decided I would do that with foils. So I'm just going to apply this to the tip half of the nail. And I'm trying to get a nice, neat, straight line with the gel. And then I'm going to pop that in to cure for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to use this gorgeous holographic animal print foil from Charlie's Nailer. I do have a discount code for Charlie's, which is always in the description box below. And they have some absolutely gorgeous foils. So all I'm going to do is, now that that gel has come out of the lamp, I'm going to press that foil down straight onto it and just rub it in. Now this one didn't go as neat as the little finger, and I think that's because if you can just see here on the foil, there was a little patch of the foil missing. I think it had stuck onto my glove or something like that, so it just didn't apply as neat as what it could have, and I just come in and touched it up a little bit, but because it's a patterned foil, it just didn't look 100%, so it went a lot better doing this design on the little finger. But before moving on to the little finger, I just wanted to finish it off with some of this silver pliable striping tape, just because I thought it looked a bit like the foil was just plonked on there. So I'm just going to place this down just to give it a little bit of an edge and finish it off. And this particular striping tape is from the Crystal Studio, and it's a lot easier to use than your regular striping tape that comes on a roll. This one comes on like a card, and yeah, it's just a hell of a lot easier to use because it's that bit thicker and you are able to bend it into place. So then I'm going to do exactly the same on the little finger, so just painting on that foil gel where I want my foil to go, trying to get the line as neat as possible. Popping it in to cure for 30 seconds, and I always like to apply my foils as soon as it comes out of the lamp, so I don't allow this gel to cool or anything. I come straight in with my foil, and I make sure to really rub it down, making sure to go along those sides, and it just transferred beautifully that time. I then also did apply the striping tape, but I did that off camera, so I'm now ready to come in and top coat with my CJP tack free top gloss. So I'm just going to apply a nice even layer of top coat to all of the nails, and then I will pop them in to cure for 60 seconds. And then guys, that is the end of the video. So I really hope you all enjoyed watching. I've done a lot of gel polish sets lately, and it was really nice to go back and do an acrylic set. I absolutely love acrylic designs. I think they will always be my favorite thing to do, even though I am really loving gel polish at the moment. So I hope you all enjoyed watching, and if you do have any requests, pop them in the description box below. If you did enjoy this set, then I would absolutely love it if you give the video a thumbs up or let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you are watching and you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. So once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're all keeping safe and well, and I shall see you all in the next video. Lots of love. Bye bye.